and kind of how to show them. I don't have all the answers. I just know that it's important that we get together and make this happen. I mean, everybody, the youth, the old, the handicapped, the disabled, we need all of you guys to make this happen for us.
Absolutely. And thank you, Ms. Bowles, for that. And I can piggyback on that, what she just said, and say, all of us got something wrong with us, no matter where we are. So disabilities, we welcome you to come. If you got some health issues, we welcome you to come. We all basically on fixed incomes with the way the economy is now. Let me say, nobody has no more than nobody else. So these things, once we strip off all that and get right down to who we really are, that's when we really can start to work and get something done. I had to say that because that's what's holding us back.
Yes.
And that's the whole point. We don't need that barrier between us at all. I look at the Black Museum also as a deterrent. It's going to stop a lot of our youth from killing each other. It's going to stop a lot of the tagging going on our buildings. Somebody even tagged my garage in my car. And I'm thinking, what the world? I didn't say it was a person of color one way or another, but I'm saying hopefully it will help eliminate those kinds of things. And the graffitis and all this stuff is going to give us something else more positive to do and encourage our young people to really do positive things as opposed to things that's going to be negative and cost us a lot of time and money. Also, it's just going to enhance and enrich our lives. Like I said, it's a deterrent to crime. It's a deterrent to the penitentiaries. We don't need to be locked up. Our freedom is the most important thing in the world.
Yes.
And our children is our most prized possessions. So that is really what we're doing this for. I also want to take the liberty to address the governor, the mayor, Portland Development Commission. We're asking and reaching out to you to help us the best way you can. We all can't come downtown or to the Salem and be in your offices and all this stuff, but we want you to become a part of this to help us make this a success. We meet every Saturday at Irvington Village, that's Providence Elder Care, at 420 Northeast Mason. We're in the King Room, and from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. This is our flyer right here that they're showing that does have the information on there, and our email address also. Let me see if I can get it there. There it is. So anyway, we do want you to come to our meeting, and if you would like to make donations, Ms. Johnson was speaking of our finances. We need people to come and make donations. We're to come to the meeting to make them. We aren't asking people to send checks through the mail and all this stuff. Now we want you to come so we can meet you and to know and you to see how your money's going, where it's going, things like that. Once again, we're at 420 Northeast Mason, Providence Elder Care, Irvington Village, from 6 to 8 p.m. every Saturday. We're there every Saturday, and we have been since February. This group has been consistent in sticking to that, and that's one reason why I know God's going to continue to make this a success, because the fact that we are continuing to, we haven't missed a beat with that. So come and contribute, and maybe perhaps you can get on one of these committees. That's why I got this up here. For those of you who probably have trouble seeing and all, I want to just go through them real quickly. The steering committee, which is us right here. The finance committee, we need help with all that. The health committee, Ms. Bowles is on that. The research committee, the activity committee, the education committee, Ms. Etta spoke of. Outreach committee, the justice committee, the universal committee, the domestic engineering committee, the food committee, the subcommittee, the youth committee, which is over here, our transportation committee, our photo and digital audio committee, Mr. Kevin White, our public relations committee, Ms. Abby Johnson, and our spiritual committee. Or else you can come and start your own committee to help us to recycle our knowledge and rebuild our lives. That is our motto for the Black Museum of Oregon. Recycle your knowledge. help rebuild our lives. We need you to be instrumental with this. If you could pull some strings somewhere and get those finances coming, do bring them there. Pretty soon we're going to have account as we do file the 501c3, which we're in the process of doing. We haven't got that yet, but we are going to get that. And then you could send to a bank or whatever our account number is. And however all this stuff is going that we're struggling with. So for all you financial geniuses and wizards and some with bachelors and masters and all this other stuff you have, we need you to help us so that this is a success. Because we can't afford to fumble with this and something goes wrong. I can pass it back to one of the other board members now while I collect a couple other things to say here. And yeah.
Okay, well, like I said, but the Oregon Black Museum can be viewed by visitors, newcomers, because most states, like Ohio, haven't even heard of Portland, Oregon. I know that. But, Portland, Oregon has a history. In the history that, the youth needs to know that back in 1800s, when Portland was being developed and things was happening, and so, right now, I am proud to say that, okay, right now I am proud to say that, without the past history, I wouldn't be here identifying myself not as color, not as black, but African American. See, because, it took people to change our title of who we are, okay? So, and you know what? It always come back to the history of African Americans, okay? And then, sitting in the front seat of a bus, eating, dining out, these people in their past history have fought for me, to take advantage of this. And so, the youth needs to know how important it is, not being angry because our history had the angriness. We should have the joy and happiness of doing what we can do because we came a long way. And like I said, it has to start from people who are interested in getting to know more about their heritage. And the youth, oh my goodness, their minds is optimistic. They mindful. They got plenty of ideas. Let them open up. And you know what? You'll be surprised what the generation would take this Oregon Black Museum. And thank you again.
I want to piggyback on a little of that. I think it's important too that we need to stop buying groceries and our vegetables in the stores. I can remember when I was growing up, we had gardening with peaches and grapes and onions and greens and cabbage and all this stuff. And where that's gone? We go to the store and buy the stuff that we had to grow to survive on, and I can laugh at my kids because I told them about the pig. We couldn't eat pork. We was a vegetarian when we was growing up.
Right.
And then we came to Oregon from Cleveland, and then we started eating the pig. Well, I don't know about all that, but that's what happened. And so we need to get back eating right, eating healthy, jogging, exercising, walking, get off the car and walk. That's keep us healthy and even make you look better too. I like but
That's right.
but so that's important, health, and that's why I'm on the health committee because it's important to tell our peoples how we need to start eating better,
To live long.
and so we can live longer.
I'd like to chime in also on the fact that the civil rights was a movement. Some people think that it was some kind of gang, this and that. I've heard so many different versions of what civil rights was. Dr. King is definitely a mentor. And not just to leave him out, I also have Malcolm X right here too that I'm going to put on the monitor because it shows them in LaGuardia Airport, one of the pictures that isn't shown very much of them two together. So it wasn't like they was at odds. And I guess I could show it to the camera right here before I put it on the monitor right there. But the civil rights was a movement, and it involved all people. So this is what we're saying from the Black Museum standpoint too. We want all people to be a part of this.
Yes.
So that our history, we won't leave nothing out. Like I said, the whole truth. We want everything to be uncovered, nothing hidden. And this is an excellent opportunity for Oregon, basically, to ride on something like this and to lead the nation in saying exactly what has happened here over the years. Because this was Klan homeland years ago, and it probably still is Klan homeland. But the thing is, a lot of us was mistreated, especially even with jobs, housing, even with the justice system. There was such a thing as a sundown law here. You couldn't be on the streets after sundown, and a lot of things that was basically before my time, but still it happened here in Oregon. You understand? So this is the type of things that we need people to come forth to express themselves with, to let us know. Some of it's, let me say this, it's very unfortunate that some of the people have passed on that we never will get this from, and we didn't have all the modern technology, like she said, Facebook and my face and your face and all this stuff to get these stories. But the fact is, some of you are still alive, and we do want you to come and share those things with us because it's very important that you let us know what you went through. And we can have your stories documented and even videotaped or audio taped. We need help with all that, and we want you to be a part of that, of putting this together. Like Ms. Bowles said, it's going to be up to our youth committee to basically get involved with this to help make this a success. So, like I said, it's for all people to be involved because civil rights was a movement. Once again, if you want to come to our meeting, it's 420 Northeast Mason in the King Room every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So I want to say that. One other thing that I think is very important that we do pay attention to and we make observation to is the fact that a lot of our children are being shuffled through the juvenile justice system with adoptions. And that means that they're away from our culture. That means they're taken away from our families. And sometimes, I'm not going to take up with nobody, people who really know me. Sometimes it's our own fault. And listen, we got to learn to do better, okay? But just because you made one mistake doesn't mean that a child has to be removed from siblings, uncles, aunties, brothers. And the court systems now have the majority of a lot of children in there. I'm not trying to insinuate, but it's a lot of black children that are displaced. And one of the things the Black Museum is taking notice to is that. We do want them to still be a part of their culture, to learn about their past, and they can't do it if they're somewhere obscure or we don't even know where they are. And it's very important that we pay attention to what's happening to our children in the juvenile justice system. Like I said, as parents, we got to learn to do better. We are the parents. So, like I said, anybody know me, know I'm not trying to make excuses, but that's the thing. We got to group together to put a stop to this because they're taking them out of the families, and we want all that to change. We don't need to be exploited. Our children don't need to be exploited. It's just so much to be done, and so little time it seems to do it in,